Yesterday, after Donald Trump's launch of his campaign that wasn't an actual launch, The View was talking about it, and Meghan McCain, the show's conservative, was providing a defense to some extent of Donald Trump and his supporters. And I want to break down a couple different aspects of this, but first, I'm sorry, I just have to start off with a fact check, because although I think that the bar for how much I expect Meghan McCain to know on a day-to-day basis is not super high, there's some stuff that's just so easy to disprove. So here she is.
The arena was completely packed, and I looked it up afterward, and I don't think so. And I will say,
buses ready for.
Well, people were lining up 40 hours prior to the event, so he still had.
Yeah.
Well, some people, yes, but there were people lining up 40 hours.
There's always people who would do that.
Go ahead.
What I'm trying to say.
I don't know if there are people lining up 40 hours before a lot of Democratic candidates.
Not yet.
Okay, so some of what she said there is totally fine and some is ridiculous. The thing was not fully packed. There were some seats open. Like, that's not a bad thing. To point that out is not, it's not like needling Donald Trump. It's difficult to fill a 20 to 25,000 person arena. But just don't brag that that's what you're doing. Don't brag about the fact that 120,000 people supposedly are gonna show up when it turns out that the overflow area is absolutely empty. There's seats inside, and people could get tickets at the last minute and then walk in. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But Trump shouldn't pretend that the opposite is true, and neither should Meghan McCain. On the busing, for instance, she says, no, I don't think that that's true. Super easy to check. New York Times, the Trump campaign rented buses across Florida to bring in supporters. Now, it's a little bit, there's some ambiguity because Trump's campaign lied about it. A campaign spokesman, Tim Murtaugh, said the campaign didn't rent buses other than shuttles for donors from a hotel to the arena. So I'm going to assume that the New York Times had a good source on that. But even if what Tim Murtaugh is saying is true, they did provide buses to bring in supporters. And that too is not that bad of a thing, and I have to imagine that everybody does that. If Obama had a big rally, they probably provided some public transportation for people to get there. That's not the end of the world, but you don't have to react as defensively as even Meghan McCain, who doesn't count herself as a Trump lover, acted when that was brought up, an inconvenient truth right there. And in terms of the people who were waiting, 120 hours or whatever, 140 hours, yes, that's true. But we can't be as uncritical as Meghan McCain was there, and some in the media were, when 2 days before that rally, there were all these articles in the biggest newspapers in the country that, oh my God, the Trump fervor, there are people lining up days in advance. Yes, there were people lining up days in advance, but not because it's gonna sell out or it's not a Beyonce, it's not like trying to get tickets to UConn football. Yes, you could line up, but you don't have to line up, you're choosing to line up. It's like people used to camp out for the iPhone because it's sold out. I could have camped out for the Microsoft Zune, but I didn't need to. I probably could have gotten one anyway. So it's a show of enthusiasm that, by the way, no one is doubting that there are huge Trump fans. It's one of the most powerful cults in American political history. Nobody's doubting that, but that does not mean that secretly 60 or 70 or 80% of the country is his devoted fan. So let's draw the right lessons from these sorts of things, but that's not my expectation for Meghan McCain necessarily. Meghan McCain, in talking about Donald Trump's rally, also she expressed a little bit of shock at something that she saw. Not like when Donald Trump was saying that the Democrats literally want to destroy you and the country and all that. She found something much more particular to her, but here's what she said.
It was hard for me to watch Marco Rubio and Lindsey Graham in there.
Oh, that
and I know
incredible.
Marco Rubio came out this morning saying it's not unusual for me to be supporting, as a senator, to be supporting the president as well. But he was sort of negging Lindsey Graham at the same time. And I even tweeted last night.
Who was doing
the president was.
Against
Watch
Lindsey?
the rally, yes,
Wow.
please. And he was sort of saying like his poll numbers were so down and now he's here. And I was like, yes. This is what happens. You have to show up the rally and you have to kiss the ring, and you'll be great politically in the Republican Party. And it was just a weird thing for me to watch.
I bet.
As all of you can probably understand.
Lindsey has sold his soul.
It like the transformation's complete. That's what I thought last night. Is that your political transformation is complete.
So look, admittedly, I don't watch a lot of The View, but when I do, it's for hot takes from 2016, 3 years later. Meghan, Lindsey Graham, Marco Rubio, they didn't sell their soul 32 hours ago. That was a long, long time ago. Like Meghan McCain sat through Lindsey Graham in the Brett Kavanaugh hearings and watched that ridiculous defense of Brett Kavanaugh, watched him rush to the defense of Donald Trump. How many times now have we shown that? How many times has Lindsey Graham gone directly against past Lindsey Graham comments? I mean, he said that Donald Trump would be the death of the Republican Party, that he was a whack job, I think was the word he used. You can check that. He sold his soul yesterday. And so I don't know if she's being facetious or what, but like that's one of the most watched political programs now in the country. For better or for worse, The View is where a lot of people get their news. And for conservatives who get it there, that's their avatar, that's their champion, Meghan McCain. And she's just now getting the fact that Republicans who had previously implied that they were better in some fashion than Donald Trump, whether morally or intellectually or ideologically or whatever, have sold out and have done whatever it takes to get his approval. That's not news in June of 2019. That's years ago, and she's just catching up now. That is not a good sign going forward for the conservative perspective, I guess, on The View.
Thanks for watching this free clip of the Young Turks. Don't forget to become a TYT member today. For more exclusive content, join now at tyt.com/join.